Hello friends, welcome back to Three Barrow Farm and another pantry challenge video where we're trying to use up a lot of the food we preserved from our last summer and autumn harvest to make room for the upcoming growing season. I started the week with a look through the deep freezer and a forage in the garden. There's still food to eat despite the lack of fresh veggies. I also had a rummage through my herb jars and found one more jar of dried oregano and another of thyme, so I'm really happy that I have these herbs. I decided to make another green smoothie as I hadn't made one in a few days. I love a warm green smoothie any time of the year to help get more nutrients into my body, particularly since I wasn't feeling very well this week. I added a lot of dried herbs to this batch. I included mint, lemon verbena, catmint, nettle and lemon balm. I used 3 bananas from the deep freezer as well as kale and parsley from the garden. I was going to add some kale powder but then chose not to as I'd already put plenty of greens in and used fresh kale already as well. We had some fruit needing to be used up, so I included a kiwi fruit and some mandarins as well. I also added some prebiotic powder and daily greens powder from Flourish. I love these powders and how affordable they are compared to other powders that you see out there in the shops. I have 2 organic chooks in the freezer, so I took one out the night before to make a slow cooked chicken soup. I had my dried thyme, some bone broth, frozen homegrown carrots and parsley to add to the soup. I seasoned the chicken and then added some of the last of my frozen walking Egyptian onions. I'm going to need to start harvesting the leeks outside now, as I'm now out of all of the frozen onions. I added water to the pot and some of the Maysles vegetable stock powder. I can't wait to make my own vegetable stock again. I'm even thinking of dehydrating it so I have vegetable stock powder available to use in the wintertime. Because I wasn't feeling well, I was craving something different, so I found a gluten-free Thermomix recipe for scones and baked some up. It included rice flour, millet flour and quinoa flour, so I needed to mill those up before I could begin. Then I added my homemade baking powder, some xanthan gum, some corn flour and a tiny amount of coconut sugar. And then of course adding the butter and the milk to make the dough. The mixture required more flour as it was quite moist, so I will adjust the recipe next time. We enjoyed some leftover vegetable soup from the night before for our lunch, and afterwards we had the scones. We used up the last of one jar of marmalade that my mother made for us, with a bit of butter underneath. Later that day, the chicken was ready to separate the meat from the bones and put back into the soup. I put the bones into this plastic bag that I put all of the bones in to make bone broth or a stock at a later date. The bag lives in my house freezer, and when there are enough bones and vegetable cuttings in the bag, I make another batch of stock. The dogs get a treat every time I cook with meat, which isn't very often, so they really appreciate it when I do have a little treat for them. This time they got the chicken skins. This soup was just what I needed to heal the cold that I had. It was such a welcoming dinner and so easy to prepare with the slow cooker. As you can see, I finished the soup off on the wood stove that night in a different pot, as we were trying to conserve our solar batteries. With forecast wet days ahead, I decided to start another batch of bone broth and get those big bags of bones out of our deep freezer. So I started a fire on Tuesday morning to start 2 pots of bones on the wood stove. I also heated an elixir I'd made the day before. I'll show you this in a separate video very soon. And I defrosted some frozen berries to go on top of my porridge. I really wasn't feeling up to much this day, so I didn't film any other meals. We mainly had leftovers anyway while I rested. Hi friends, it is Wednesday and I've just gone to the shops. So I ended up getting sick last week, and what you've seen so far is what I've done this week, but I think also I've missed a few days or I've missed a few meals. We still have been eating through the pantry, and this is my first official shop since starting the pantry challenge. So we're in week 3 now, and we've purchased some milk already, but I just got some more cow's milk today, or goat's milk and cow's milk. There's the cow's milk. I got this cow's milk, and I got some oat milk as well. So I need to put these in the fridge right now. And the last thing in this bag is some soy sauce. So I have some mushroom soy sauce, but my son requested some standard soy sauce. So this one is pretty natural, as natural as you can get. It doesn't have any additives in it. I got some prawns as well, which I have never ever purchased in my life, but I'm going to be doing a stir fry tonight. Actually, I thought I could do a fried rice instead with one of my broccolis. So I'm going to go out and harvest one of my broccolis. All right, I just put those prawns in the freezer. I got some bananas. I got some more kiwi fruits, and I got some mushrooms. I got some ginger because I'm unwell, and I wanted to put this in the stir fry or fried rice, whatever I was going to do with the broccoli. I've got some more feta cheese. Because of the state of me right now, I forgot that I have feta cheese in the fridge. So I will put this in a container and it'll be all right. Yeah, we'll just be eating a lot of feta over the next few days. I got some organic celery. So the local fruit and veg shop that I like to go to, they're only open on Thursdays, Fridays and Saturdays, and I didn't want to go anywhere tomorrow. I'm not working this week. I'm taking the week off to get better because I have something on Saturday and I need to be better for it. I am feeling much better. I'm not as tired as I was, but I've just got that after sickness sort of thing going on. So I got some capsicums as well, mushrooms, and I also got some noodles. I haven't tried these ones before, but these ones have buckwheat in them. These do have wheat in them. I try not to have wheat. I try for the whole house not to have wheat during winter in particular, just because it takes a lot of our body to process wheat, gluten in particular. So we try not to eat too much gluten, but my kids and my husband have been having bread. They've been having wheat bread, that some sourdough and just some standard as well. But I haven't had any, although on Saturday I made some gluten-free bread and everybody loves that bread, so it goes quite quickly. But that's all I got. So, okay, I'm going to be brief because I can tell I'm not going to be able to talk for very long. I have 2 pots of bone broth going on for their second day. So I'll be home tomorrow and I'll possibly even keep them going till Friday because they're all lamb bones and lamb bones take forever to break down. I prefer to at least do 3 days. You've seen the process. You've heard me talk about this in week 1 of the pantry challenge. Just watching my dogs outside. But while I was in town, I picked up 3 more packages from 3 of you. I feel so blessed. I'm going to make myself a cup of tea after dinner and sit down and open these lovely letters full of seeds. So lovely. Thank you. And I'm looking forward to sending off some seeds to you, especially now that I have sorted my seed collection, although I just found a small box of more seeds in my mudroom the other day, so I need to pop those into the right spots, categories in my seed drawers. Anyhow, I'm going to leave it there. I just thought I'd pop in and let you know what I've purchased. Even though I'm working through things too, I'm also making things. I mean, winter is the perfect time to do the bone broth. So I'm filling my freezer with bone broth currently, but I'm also emptying my freezer. I had 2 massive bags of lamb bones from our lambs in the deep freeze out there. And now we've got, you know, a massive amount of space in the deep freeze. So at the same time as it decreasing, I'm also adding in, but it's definitely decreasing more than I'm adding in, which is great. I just knew that I wasn't going to be able to get through this week without buying some vegetables. I'm going to be putting some ginger in, of course. I'm going to be putting in these capsicums. I've got frozen corn, which I will be throwing in, and some peas. So I will be doing some of these, but I need to finish off that bag. For some reason, this bag was hiding in my freezer. So I'm going to make some rice first. So I like to use brown rice wherever possible. I've just edited the second half of last week, and this is what I mean by I'm a from sight and feel sort of cook. So this is how I cook rice. So this is brown rice, and then I put water up to about, I don't know, the thickness of my hand, perhaps, so maybe an inch above the rice level, and it always works. I don't know, just always works. All right, so there we go. I've got the water in here now. So I put the lid on. Sorry about the dogs. It will start boiling, and then I will put it on a triangle and just cook it with the lid off or half on, depending how hot my fire is. So let's cook the rice. This broccoli was so delicious. I'm so pleased with how well it has grown. I steamed the broccoli separately to the fried rice as I wanted the broccoli to cook perfectly and to not be overcooked. I steamed the rest of the veggies and then fried them off with the prawns afterwards. Then I scrambled up the eggs and added the vegetables and prawns back into the wok. Then I added the cooked brown rice and fried it all up together. We all really enjoyed this dinner and leftovers the next day as well for lunch. I'll be back with part 2 of this week, continuing the pantry challenge. Thank you so much for watching, friends. See you very soon.